McDonald's once paid a fine of $10 million after being sued for misleading vegetarians by adding beef flavoring to its fries while claiming they were vegetarian-friendly. McDonald's French fries were widely believed to be suitable for vegetarians.
Are you a big fan of Big Mac, McDonald's best-selling hamburger? Big Mac is not just a pie, but also a fast food icon that has conquered millions of hearts for decades, appearing in more than 100 countries. But there's a little-known fact. In almost every Big Mac you've ever eaten, there's something that makes nutritionists shudder. It's not just the fat, it's not just the calories. It's a series of additives, salt, and the aftermath of multi-million-dollar lawsuits. And the scariest thing? McDonald's has cleverly hidden these facts in a place where almost no one will notice. The Nutrition Facts panel in super small 8-point font, hidden right behind the cashier counter. More shockingly, Big Mac, the classic burger that made McDonald's famous, was once the main character in a scandal so big that it dragged the entire famous fast food empire to court. Big Mac and the lawsuit that deceived the vegetarian community, causing McDonald's to pay $10 million. It happened in 2001, when a group of vegetarians and Hindus in the US were outraged. They discovered that McDonald's fries, a seemingly completely vegan dish, were seasoned with beef flavoring. This also meant that the famous Big Mac, which was declared to be suitable for vegetarians, was not actually vegetarian as advertised. The news hit like a bomb. "We feel betrayed," the vegetarian community said, especially those who are vegetarians for religious reasons. For Hindus, where the cow is sacred, eating cow-based food is a culture shock. In the face of intense criticism, McDonald's was forced to speak up. They publicly apologized and agreed to pay $10 million to compensate affected vegetarian and religious organizations. The company also pledged to change its recipe, completely remove beef flavoring from its fries and Big Macs, and be more transparent about its product ingredients in the future. A hard-earned lesson for McDonald's that in the culinary world, sometimes little spices can spark a major crisis. And for those who once believed that the Big Mac was the friend of all diets, it turns out that the story is not as simple as it seems. The dark secret behind McDonald's Big Mac has been discovered, and it's worse than you think. A Big Mac may seem harmless at first glance. Soft sesame bun, bright greens, 2 generous beef patties, a slice of melted cheese, and a glistening golden sauce. But what you don't see are the numbers silently accumulating inside your body with every bite. A cardiologist in California once shared, "I had to do heart surgery on a 32-year-old man. Non-smoker, non-drinker, addicted to Big Macs for 6 years. 550 calories, nearly 1,000 milligrams of sodium, more than 10 grams of saturated fat. Enough sugar to throw your insulin out of whack. And that's just the cake, not counting the soda and fries that come with it. According to experts, with just one serving, you have consumed nearly 40% of the recommended daily salt intake. Excess salt not only increases blood pressure, but also puts the kidneys into overdrive, causing the body to retain water, increasing blood pressure, and putting a strain on the heart every day. Trans fats, even a little, are a double-edged sword. Not only do they increase bad LDL cholesterol, but they also decrease good HDL cholesterol, making your blood vessels more susceptible to atherosclerosis and your heartbeat in constant stress. And did you know? This is the type of fat that the WHO recommends to be completely banned from the diet. But the story doesn't end there. Inside a Big Mac are 9 grams of sugar, additives, preservatives, and a long list of ingredients that no one dares to read. Every day, these things pile up in your body, little by little, until you realize you're fatter, more tired, and every flight of stairs is a battle. But the most dangerous thing is the feeling of normalization. Few people think that a small and pretty cake is the seed of diabetes, high blood pressure, fatty liver, early stroke. We do not see it right away, but when we see it, it is too late. And the biggest question is, if a product that appears in 100 countries, sells millions of units every day, contains such risks? Is it the fault of the consumer, or of an entire system that is hiding something they know better than anyone? The beef in a Big Mac 100% beef. You look at the Big Mac, the dark brown beef patty that McDonald's always praises as 100% real beef. But is the truth really that simple? A former McDonald's employee claimed that the truth is that the beef in the Big Mac is not fresh, juicy, freshly butchered. That sounds sad, but the plump beef patties are actually ground, pressed into shape, and frozen, an industrial process that extends the shelf life of the product. But how much of the natural nutrients are lost in the process? And is the meat as intact as advertised? McDonald's claims to use no soy, corn, or fillers. That sounds believable. But if everything is so pure, why is that beef patty so uniform, so firm? The truth is, when beef is ground up, its original shape is gone, and now you can't be sure what's in it. And where does the beef come from? According to one report, McDonald's works with large industrial suppliers like Cargill and Lopez Foods, where millions of tons of beef are processed on automated lines. A giant industrial machine creates uniform patties, mass packages them, mass freezes them, and mass ships them. So, next time you bite into your next Big Mac, ask yourself, 100% beef. But 100% of what? The fact that the beef is ground also makes it difficult for consumers to verify its purity. The Big Mac's golden bun also contains a carefully calculated secret. Big Mac bread, more than just flour and yeast. If you think the Big Mac is just flour, yeast, and a little sugar, you're not entirely wrong. A McDonald's factory worker once said, "To keep the bread soft, fragrant, and spongy, they put a lot more sugar in it than you might think." Sugar not only makes the bread taste good, it also makes you want another piece. In addition, to prevent the cake from drying out or crumbling after a few days, they also add emulsifiers that help the grease and water in the cake blend together, keeping the cake soft without separating. And another secret, to keep the bread from getting moldy quickly, McDonald's uses a substance called calcium propionate, which helps the bread stay fresh even though it may have been stored in the warehouse for quite a while before reaching you. In general, that seemingly simple bread is carefully designed, not only to be delicious, but also to last a long time. But in return, you are also eating a lot of artificial substances that you rarely notice. In addition, to prevent bread from getting moldy quickly, McDonald's uses calcium propionate, a common anti-mold agent in the food industry. Thanks to that, the bread always remains fresh and safe when it reaches the consumer, even though it may have been stored for a long time. Behind that seemingly simple loaf of bread lies a carefully designed recipe, designed not only to be delicious but also to last, to prolong its shelf life. But that also means you are consuming artificial ingredients that are rarely noticed. And the famous Big Mac sauce, the soul that makes the cake truly delicious. But is it safe? Have you ever wondered, what makes a Big Mac so special? It's not the 2 layers of meat, the soft bun, or the fresh, crunchy vegetables, but the golden, creamy, slightly sweet sauce that makes you say, "Give me another one." But you know, behind that sauce is not simply mayonnaise or pickled cucumbers as many people think. It is a whole flavor work, with a sophisticated blend of many ingredients that you never expected. Nutritionists have dissected the recipe and discovered that Big Mac sauce contains sodium benzoate and calcium disodium EDTA, preservatives that help keep the sauce fresh, delicious, and colorful. It sounds okay, but for sensitive people this is a double-edged sword, easily causing irritation or allergies. Not yet. An employee who used to make Big Mac sandwiches shared, "To create that attractive yellow color, McDonald's uses caramel color and turmeric, natural colorants." However, this is still a minus point for some special body types. And remember that smooth, melty sauce that melts evenly in each layer of cake? That's thanks to propylene glycol alginate and polysorbate 80. These ingredients help keep the sauce from separating, keeping it creamy. But similarly, they can also cause some unwanted reactions in some people. The good news is that in 2018, McDonald's began listening to consumers by phasing out artificial preservatives like potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate, and calcium disodium EDTA from its Big Mac sauce formula. Now, you can rest assured every time you indulge in this famous burger. But the world of food is ever-changing. No one can say for sure whether the recipe will still be the same in a few years. So, if you loved the taste of a Big Mac today, enjoy it to the fullest. Who knows, it might be the last great version you ever taste. Big Mac, McDonald's iconic burger, is not only famous for its taste but also for its noisy lawsuits. Below are the most notable lawsuits related to Big Mac that you may not know. The Big Mac secret exposed, a warning from a lawsuit that shocked McDonald's in 2002. We've known about this for a long time, but no one dared to speak up. An anonymous former McDonald's marketing employee admitted in an informal interview. In 2002, in the heart of bustling New York City, a strange lawsuit suddenly became the center of attention. Two teenagers took McDonald's to court, accusing the fragrant Big Macs of being the culprit that caused them to become obese and have a series of health problems. The joke quickly escalated into a full-blown backlash. The teens not only complained about their weight, but also accused McDonald's of hiding or underreporting the nutritional information on its products, leading them and millions of others to eat mindlessly. We had no idea that just one Big Mac contained 550 calories, 10 grams of saturated fat, and 1,000 metagiaurs of sodium. Of course, McDonald's did not sit still. They strongly responded. Everyone has the right to choose what they eat. Nutritional information has long been publicly available. But the reality is, says one nutritionist who has worked with the food industry, not everyone knows how to look up those numbers, and even fewer understand what each calorie, sodium, or fat number really means. The lawsuit was eventually dismissed, with the court finding that eating out was a personal choice. But the biggest loss for McDonald's was not the verdict, but trust. Pressure from the media and public opinion made it impossible for the fast food giant to remain silent. McDonald's was forced to publish the entire nutritional content of each product, from sugar, fat, to the smallest additives. Subsequent media campaigns also had to be more transparent, instead of focusing only on the image of the perfect, flawless burger. The 2002 lawsuit may not have brought McDonald's down, but it did change the company forever. And for consumers, it was a wake-up call. Sometimes behind the golden crust and the gooey cheese, there are numbers that, if you knew them, might make you hesitate a little before ordering a second helping. The billion-dollar war between McDonald's and Supermacs, the secret behind the name Big Mac, 2019. In 2019, a seemingly simple battle over the name Big Mac became the focus of the European fast food scene, when McDonald's, the global giant, faced the risk of losing ownership of this brand in Europe. Their opponent was none other than Supermacs, an Irish fast food chain with ambitions to expand its market across the old continent. This battle is not just about a name, but a valuable lesson that brands must always be used and have a physical presence in the market, said a veteran brand consultant who has worked with many large corporations. A trademark registration without effective exploitation will easily be challenged. McDonald's immediately filed a lawsuit, claiming that the name Supermacs could easily be confused with Big Mac, their iconic burger, which had been registered since 1979. They were confident that 40 years of association with this brand was enough to maintain ownership. However, Supermacs refused to give in. They strongly argued that McDonald's had only registered the trademark without actually using Big Mac in Europe, and that McDonald's purpose was only to hold space to prevent competitors from developing. They argued that this was unfair and hindered healthy competition. At the European Intellectual Property Court, McDonald's presented a series of advertising and media campaign evidence related to Big Mac. But according to experts, this evidence is not strong enough. Finally, in January 2019, the court issued a shocking ruling. McDonald's lost the right to protect the Big Mac in Europe. This was a big shock for the corporation, but also a resounding victory for Supermacs, allowing them to expand their operations without any constraints. Big Mac is not only a popular fast food, but also contains interesting stories about culture and economy. And Big Mac even created the most amazing world records. The most interesting facts about Big Mac. You probably never knew. The addictive secret of the Big Mac. It's not just beef. How much do we love the Big Mac? You think the soul of the Big Mac lies in the beef? But no. A longtime employee at McDonald's once revealed that the real secret lies in the special sauce. This is the soul that creates the irresistible flavor of this famous cake. So, how did McDonald's create such a divine sauce? A longtime employee at a McDonald's branch revealed that the Big Mac has not just one, but two different sauces. To please fans of both versions, McDonald's decided to combine them into one super sauce. And when the legendary commercial 2 beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, and sesame buns was released in 1974, the name special sauce was officially born. The original special sauce recipe is said to have undergone years of research and remained intact for 2 decades. However, the taste you enjoy today has changed from its predecessor. In 1991, the recipe was tweaked by elite chefs. In 2004, when McDonald's faced economic difficulties, former CEO Fred Turner returned to fix the fire. His top priority was to rebuild the special sauce. Ironically, the original recipe had been lost, forcing Turner to contact the original supplier to reverse code the recipe, bringing the flavor back to the original. For years, McDonald's kept the ingredient list of its Big Mac special sauce a state secret. It wasn't mixed in stores, but shipped in sealed containers, with detailed instructions on how much to use per patty using a special tool. However, this secret is no longer a secret. McDonald's Canada's executive chef, Dan Coudreau, revealed in a YouTube tutorial that the ingredients have long been publicly available on the internet. He even showed viewers how to make their own special sauce at home with easy-to-find ingredients like mayonnaise, pickled cucumbers, yellow mustard, white wine vinegar, garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. One surprising thing that the employee revealed was that Big Mac sauce does not have ketchup on the ingredient list. This disproved the long-standing rumor that the special sauce is just a variation of Thousand Island sauce. While Coudreau did not provide specific quantities and some of the ingredients on McDonald's website are still hidden, like soybean oil, salt, sugar, turmeric, and unspecified spices, it's clear that you can experiment to create your own version of the special sauce. The appeal of special sauce is also demonstrated through special events. In 2017, McDonald's made headlines when it gave away 10,000 bottles of its Big Mac sauce for free. A year earlier, when it was first bottled in Australia, it sold out immediately at $5 a bottle. In the US, despite being given away for free, demand far outstripped supply, with bottles selling online for hundreds of dollars. In the UK, McDonald's even auctioned off a bottle of its special sauce online, with the proceeds raising nearly $100,000 for the Ronald McDonald House Foundation. The story of the Big Mac is even more interesting when looking at countries with different culinary cultures. Did you know that the Big Mac, the famous beef icon, has not always used beef? Big Macs don't always have the same beef flavor. In India, where cows are considered sacred and cow slaughter is banned in many states due to Hindu beliefs, McDonald's cleverly created a special version to suit local culture, the Chicken Maharaja Mac, also known as the Big Mac Chicken Maharaja. A longtime employee who worked at a McDonald's branch said, "To keep the spirit of the Big Mac, but without beef, we chose marinated chicken, combined with spicy habanero sauce, creating a completely new experience while still retaining the characteristic appearance of the legendary cake." This chicken version quickly became a favorite home chicken in India. Not only because it satisfies the religious beliefs, but also because it satisfies diners who love innovation and unforgettable spiciness. Have you ever tried Chicken Maharaja Mac? If not, this is a different yet familiar experience that is worth exploring. No matter how much of a McDonald's fan you claim to be, you will definitely have to admit defeat to this man. One man has eaten 30,000 since the 1970s. The story of a man named Donald A. Gorski not only loves Big Macs, he lives with them almost every day. Since 1972, he has eaten more than 30,000 Big Macs, a number that would make any McDonald's fanatic dizzy. A friend who worked with Donald once said, "I saw him almost never skip a Big Mac meal." Every day, he enjoyed at least one Big Mac with the same passion. Donald said, "The Big Mac is the best food in the world, and I believe I will never get tired of it." In 2016, he was officially recognized in the Guinness Book of Records with the 28th Big Mac, and just 2 years later, that number had reached 30,000, a record that is hard to beat. Interestingly, Donald still has no intention of stopping, continuing his journey of eating Big Macs with the same passion as the first day. Perhaps the name Donald also partly contributes to this special story, as a symbol of loyalty, passion, and the story of nearly half a century of attachment to a simple but meaningful dish. Did you know that the Big Mac in Switzerland is the most expensive in the world? If you are wandering in the majestic Alps and craving a legendary McDonald's cake, prepare a generous wallet, because a Big Mac here costs about $6.54 USD, a price that will surprise many people. Not only Switzerland, Nordic countries such as Norway, Sweden, and Finland are also among the top in terms of Big Mac prices, with prices much higher than the US. In the US, you only need to spend about $5.74 USD to enjoy a fragrant Big Mac easily and quickly. On the contrary, if you want to enjoy a Big Mac without hurting your wallet, Russia is the paradise for you, when a Big Mac only costs about $2.04 USD, almost half the price of Switzerland. Not only Russia, countries like Malaysia, Romania, or South Africa are also attractive destinations with prices under $2.50 USD for a Big Mac, helping you satisfy your hunger while saving quite a bit of money. As you can see, the Big Mac is not only a global culinary icon, but also an interesting measure of economic differences and living costs between countries. So next time you order a Big Mac, remember that its value lies not only in the taste, but also in the story behind each pie. The Big Mac is more than just a burger, it has its own museum dedicated to it. Big Mac Museum, a place to honor the legendary burger. Longtime McDonald's employees in Pennsylvania, where the Big Mac was invented, have many interesting stories to tell about the Big Mac Museum. It's a very special place. The museum opened in 2007, on the 40th anniversary of the Big Mac. The Big Mac Museum is located in North Huntington, Pennsylvania, where Jim Delegati, the creator of the Big Mac, ran his first McDonald's. Visitors are most surprised by the giant Big Mac model, over 4 meters high, the largest in the world, standing right in the middle of the museum as a living symbol of the Burger King. The museum also houses hundreds of photos, documents, and memorabilia from its early days in 1967, telling the story of the Big Mac's journey from a simple idea by Jim Delegati to a global fast food icon. Jim didn't just create a delicious dish, he created a legend, Mark said. McDonald's always emphasizes, the Big Mac Museum is not only for McDonald's fans or burger lovers, but also a place for everyone to understand that sometimes a small idea can change the world. Big Mac, the symbol of global fast food culture, is not just a simple sandwich but also a story of creativity, branding, and endless controversies. Whether you love it or are wary, there's no denying the strong influence of Big Mac in the hearts of consumers around the world. But remember, besides the attractive taste, there are facts to consider to make smarter choices for your own health. Big Mac is always an icon, but the decision to enjoy it or not is entirely up to you.